let me start by congratulating you for this historic engagement that Ekiti State is about to enter with you on. It's a partnership that we consider very serious. It is work that our people are expectant on, and it is an initiative that we're determined to achieve on cost, on time, and without variation. And that is why we've taken pain to ensure that all the elements that are critical to making the work mutually beneficial, by not resorting to the usual practice that has not been positive in the state of withholding your payment unnecessarily when you've done your own part of the, you've fulfilled your own part of the obligation, and supporting you with whatever assistance we have pledged on signing the contract. Ekiti State, before we came in, has had a very, very bad relationship with many of the contractors. We met road projects in this state, majority of which were not well done. In fact, the contract review committee that reviewed all these roads could only point to 3 contractors as worthy of being re-engaged by the state. RATCON, RCF, and DROMO. 3 of you have been invited back on the basis of that review panel's recommendations. And RUSCO. So 4 of you are back here because the report of the contract review committee gave you a clean bill of health, as serious-minded, as focused on the job, and as fulfilling your part of the obligation. And that's why we have called you without prejudice. It does not matter that we were not the ones who hired you for those particular contracts, but our interest, primary interest in this government is performance. You don't have to know me as governor, and I don't know any of you. Those 4 contractors that I've referred to, I have never met you except in the course of the work you have been doing here. Dromo I've met because he's in the state and I know the work he has been doing. I think I've met RCF and also met maybe someone from RATCON in the past, but I'm not even sure any of you would recall the conversation you had with me on those occasions. So what is of primary interest to us is delivery on this job. We have also taken pain to do our own review, even on the jobs that you've quoted for. So some of the jobs are actually being awarded at a higher rate than what you quoted, because we've discovered, and we don't want an excuse, we don't want a variation, we've discovered that the asphalt cost, as at the time you put in your papers and now might have changed. And we've taken that on board in the review that we've done, both by our Bureau of Public Procurement and by our consultants, so that at the end of the day, I don't want any contractor coming to me to say that, oh, something has happened along the line and we're not able to finish it, because for me, I am not interested. The only thing I'm interested in from this minute is your delivery, and we will make sure that we are not doing our own job on milestone basis. We will mobilize you and also monitor your work and pay you in accordance with the certificate that you present in line with the work that you have actually done. There's no deal. And I want you to listen to me on this very, very clearly. I don't do deals. Under the table, above the table, below the table, I don't send people to anybody. So if anybody in Ministry of Works tells you that Fayemi has asked him to go and see you, insist on coming to see me yourself. And nobody would say that I have approached him amongst you to put in a particular cost in a court so that I can make a personal gain on this. That is not our interest in this government. Ekiti people are desirous of improvement on their roads. And we want jobs that will be done, that we will not go back there in a year's time. Because that's the experience around here. Under 2 years, the roads are gone. I am not an engineer, but I have spoken to engineers, I've spoken to experts on roads, and they've made it clear to me that a properly done road, especially on a soil like Ekiti soil that is very good, should last a decade. That's what professionals in the field have told me. With regular maintenance, the road should last for 10 years at the minimum. That is what I expect of the roads that you are taking on. And you are seeing the nicest part of me. Let me just say that to you. Things could get a bit nasty if the obligations are not met. And here are my own simple obligations. You must be ready. We've carefully selected you because we know that you have the capacity to even mobilize to site before we pay you. We've checked that out. We will pay you, don't get me wrong. These are projects that are tied to the bond that we have just gone to the capital market to procure. So the question of not paying you does not arise. We have to pay you by law. And we have to show the capital market, we have to show the stock exchange evidence that we have not only contracted you, but that we're paying you in accordance with the terms of our agreement on the capital market. So you don't have to entertain any fears by your parents if you do your job. So I expect you to mobilize into Ekiti from next week. And I want you to underline that on this road, I expect you to mobilize into the state from next week. I know that your contractual papers are being worked on. The tenders board had already sat on it and approved it. It's only awaiting EXCO nod. And that will be done in a matter of days. 2, we would pay you upfront your mobilization of 30%. That's what we're allowed by law, and that is what we're going to pay. 3, I am not going to entertain any holiday. So the idea that you are going away on holiday between December 15 and January 15, as is common in the construction industry, is not allowed in this state. If you are prepared to take this job, you must be prepared to work all through. Because the rainy season is upon us again. And I am determined that you would have made significant progress if you have not even gone as far as completing the road project by the end of May. 4, all of you must be around. I'm starting a tour in the state on Monday. Well, you don't have to be around for the period of my tour, but I expect you to be around when I'm visiting where your road is located, because I'm going to flag off with you there when I go to those places. The timetable will be made available to you by the Ministry of Works. I'm sure you know the road you've applied for, and I'm still going to have a one-on-one meeting with you immediately after this session. But just for the benefit of those who may not have been aware of the full decisions that we've taken, Igede Awo-Ido Road is being awarded to Stageco. And that's Stageco that won the bid. Okay, that's the Stageco. Thank you very much. I'll discuss details with you later. In your own case, we figured that your estimate is a bit low on what we find out, but we're going to ask you again. If you think you can do it for your estimate, that's fine. But that's a matter between you and the officials. The Kere Igbaraldo Road is Palmyra Construction Company. Okay, that's Palmyra. Okay, sir. Ikogosi Ipoile Iloro Efon Road is Roscoe Resources. Okay. Ijon Ise Road, RCF. Ijero Ikoti Ayetoro Road is Ratcon Nigeria Limited. This is pretty much an extension of the road that you're already doing now. Your Ayetoro Ijero Ido Road. So this is still in the same axis. The dualization of Old Garage Ojumoshe Road, Heartland. Where is Heartland? Oh, Heartland is not here. Okay. Ilawe, Igbaraldo, Ibuji, Ondo State Border Road, Boundary Road, Dromo International. Ikole, Ijeshaishu, Iluomoba Road, SCOA Nigeria Limited. The Oye Ikon Otsun Road, Chavet. And then this is the road from Old Garage to Ajilosun. That's CGC Nigeria Limited. Okay. So those are the 14 roads that are being awarded, and they are the roads that we will need immediate action on. We cannot afford to repeat the failed experience that we've had in the state. As I said, we've checked your background. We know the work that Travere has done in other places. We're aware of the work that Ratcon has done, that Rusco is doing here, that TARCF has been doing here in the past. And the work that Palmyra did in Lagos and other places, we've checked it out. CGC, we know the roads they're doing in Ondo State, we've monitored that. SCOA is, of course, an experienced institution. And which other contractor is here that, well, Dromo is a local champion in But what at least I know from the due diligence we've done is that none of you, to the best of my knowledge, is a cowboy contractor. And there's a lot to be said for that, because there are so many cowboy contractors around, and I have said I am not interested in working with anybody who cannot stand on their own and even possibly raise these funds. If that were to be the case. That's not the case in the case of Ekiti. But if it were to come to that, we should be able to raise these funds and continue to do the road before we pay you. Luckily, that's not the situation that we are in. We have the resources to pay you, and the extent to which you succeed with dates will determine what we do with you in the next 24 months after the 12 months that you are going to be on the field trying to sort these roads out. Because these are not the only roads we have in the state that need fixing. Some of you are familiar with our roads. I just thought I should highlight this point. If I've missed out anything, the commissioner and his team might want to add to that, and then I'll give you the opportunity to respond. Thank you very much. I don't know.